This week, Lawrence betrays me and stabs me in the back while watching the first episode of Yona of the Dawn. Welcome to One Shot Reviews. Hey,
what's going on, guys?
Why would you betray me like this, Lawrence? Goddamn.
You know,
he doesn't even have. He's like,
you stabbed me in the back every episode.
Nah, dude, I do it in the chest. So. I do it in the front.
No, actually, that's very true.
You know it's coming.
That's very true.
I look you dead in the eye while I do it.
That's very true.
Shit.
What's going on, guys?
Dog, we gotta talk about it off rip. Actually, there's two shows we gotta talk about.
I already know
rip.
which. There's two of them. Do you know both? I'm calling it that. I already know what you're gonna. Oh, I know the one that we're both talking about. Yeah. I don't know the other one.
What episode you get to?
I am literally. Hold up, let me refresh the page.
I finished it. We're talking about Arcane, everyone. The League of Legends show.
Yo, Arcane's crack. I'm on 7.
Okay, word. So you're in the last 3 episodes.
I'm 8 minutes. I'm in 8 minutes into episode 7 right now.
The next 3 episodes, the fight scenes, they're good.
Okay.
Dog,
yep. The show is cracked, bro.
I introduced Abby to it. She had no idea that they were making a show or whatever. We watched the first episode together, and she she binged that faster than I did. Like the second those episodes came out every Saturday, she was like, put it on. She's like, I gotta watch it.
Okay, so they come out every Saturday. Is the first season done?
Yeah, so it's 9 episodes. Yeah, so you're in the final 3 episodes. And then season 2 got announced. So that's huge.
Yes, I did see that actually.
Let me see
on
Twitter. Hold on.
Yo, Arcane is really good, guys. Now that show is it's good.
I remember when I messaged you and you were like, yeah, I'll get around to it. And I was like, yo, it's 9.6 on IMDb, and you were like, I'm watching it right now.
See, I'm gonna be honest, like that's really like that's how I watch stuff. Like if it at some point I'll get around to the show.
You just gotta put it in.
Get around to it.
You gotta be like, yo, watch this. IMDb says, and he'll put it on. If it's higher than 9, he'll immediately put it on.
IMDb says that it's that good.
9.4 out of 10 based on 53,000 reports.
Yeah, no, that's beast. So that's beast. So that's when I was like, all right, let me move this all the way up my priorities list.
Move it all the way to the top.
Like the click and drag, like.
Alright, and then let me see about this other show. Ooh, you won't be watching this show, but I liked it. But before we talk about the second show, Arcane. So, here we go. First on-air sneeze.
It just went away,
dude. That's the worst fucking feeling when you get to the cusp of it, and then it's.
It was like all the way up here too. Like my eye was twitching and all that.
I like your eye. You were doing like, bro. I was like, oh, Lawrence is experiencing something here. We're all gonna watch it. Oh man, but so So it's good though, right? You liking it?
Yeah. Nah. Arcane is good. You know, they really first off, what I was not expecting what happened to happen
to anyone
with between V and Powder. I didn't know that. Now maybe if you read the autobiographies when you play the game, maybe you would know all that already. No.
So before the show came out, it was only a fan theory. It wasn't confirmed. So when Jinx has her line like, "You think I'm crazy? You should see my sister." That was just like a line they put in originally, and they're like, "Yeah, it doesn't."
So none of this is in their bios though, because these characters have long ass bios.
I haven't looked since the show came out. They might have retconned it for it to make sense. But before the show came out, it was all like the fans were like, "We're pretty sure they're sisters, but they haven't come out and said they were sisters." So there was like Jinx's one line, like, "You think I'm crazy? You should see my sister." And that was just like a funny like one-liner they threw in for, and they were like, "No, she doesn't have a sister." And then when you're on Howling Abyss, when the Freljord, like the shopkeeper, he says he doesn't say they're sisters, but he acknowledges the fact that the devs know that we think they're sisters. And he says something, I forget what the line is that he says.
That's pretty cool. See, that's fire.
Yeah, I forget what the line is, but he like
Easter eggs are just so fun. Yeah. Like little Easter eggs are really dope. Like,
right. And there were like a couple other one-liners in the thing that like It was more so like the devs recognize that everyone wants them to be sisters, but they're not going to go outright and say they're
And
sisters.
say it. Yeah,
Instead,
yeah,
they
yeah.
just made one of the most fire shows ever, and they're like, "All right, fine, you got us, guys. Check this shit out."
And the other thing that I liked about it is it's not like it's some PG-13 type shit.
Nah, dude, these people are swearing, they're murdering, like people be dying in this show.
This show is not like some kiddie shit, guys. It's not like some kids like I mean, like it's not the worst thing you'll ever see, but it's like made for adults. Like, and I like,
right.
But and while it's an animation though, still like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a cartoon.
It's not like anime animation. It's like that,
no.
Yeah, it's got like a unique feel to it, which is nice.
Yep. It's just a different form. It's just a different form of animation. It's more cartoony, but it's like, yeah, it's just a different form. It's really dope. It's really dope.
Definitely,
it's really dope.
Like more like teenager and up, maybe even like late teen and up. Dude, I'm so mad. Twitch. They were like. Episode 1, I'm like, oh, here comes Twitch, and then he's.
At some point they're gonna show him though.
They do the same thing in episode 1. I'll tell you now. Where in the last episode, there's like a montage scene, and they're showing like a bunch of different like of the main characters, and one of them sitting there, and then like where like the front of the screen is, you see like Twitch's hands like enter the screen. He's not like doing anything. He's like crawling up something, and you see his hands, and then they go to a different scene, and I'm like. Just give me the little rat boy. Give me him.
Yeah, man, it's good. I like it. I like it. I definitely am gonna finish it.
It gets real these next 3 episodes that you're about to watch. Like
I'm gonna finish this one probably when we get off stream.
Like you thought it was like they finally get into like people start like doing shit and like everyone starts doing whatever they were like been leading up to, and it gets really weird, or not weird, real.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fights are so good.
Yeah, no, they are.
There's one fight in the second to last episode that's like so good. You'll know it when you see it. You'll know it. It's like a showdown fight, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is what Chris was talking about. Here we go."
Definitely check it out, guys. It's a really good show. Got a really good rating for a reason. So,
speaking of shows with ratings that aren't so great, do you know what the other show is that came out Friday?
No.
Cowboy Bebop live action.
Oh, okay. So how was that?
I personally liked it. I actually thought it was really good. IMDb says otherwise. They say 6.6, which honestly, that's better than what I thought IMDb was gonna give it.
And IMDb, that's decent. I go by if it gets a 6 or above. That's what I like.
In the popularity rank, it's the number 6 most watched show right now. So there you go.
Is it all 28 episodes, or is it a movie, or
it's 10 episodes? Okay. And it's a. They were very clear about it, so I really hate when people are like, they strayed from the source material. Fuck off. They told you they were going to do that. Like, the first words out of their mouth was, we're not following everything from this show. Clearly, we can't do some of the crazy-ass shit they do in this show. We just can't do it. It's live action. Fuck off. All right? So we're going to change some shit around.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that.
And they, like, you know how, like, most anime they don't say that, and you just go in and watch it and you go, this was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. If you go into it knowing, okay, they had the source material, they read it, they watched, and it's also based part in the movie as well, and then they took it and they were like, here are the base elements that make Cowboy Bebop what it is. Boom, boom, boom. We keep those. Some storylines we're gonna have to change. We're gonna have to change some space, like pacing, change, like they meet Faye in episode 1, which they don't meet in the anime. It sucks because Ed literally, it's like Ed is literally the last thing in the whole show. I'll tell everyone right now. Ed is literally the final scene of the final episode. I'm assuming that means there's going to be a season 2. Also, the ending is different than in the TV show. So that was like the OG show, and I actually kind of liked it, to be honest. Kind of liked it.
Okay.
But Yeah, I thought it was okay. I'm very upset they didn't have an episode. Did you watch the TV show yet? The OG?
I haven't.
So there's an episode in the OG one where they trip fucking balls. That's the whole episode. I forget what it is, but they're like some mushroom, like some mushroom gets on their ship and gets into their food and they eat it, and everyone except for like Ed and Ein get fucking high out of their goddamn minds for the whole episode, and Ed's got to like save the day, and I'm really upset that wasn't part of the TV show. Just watching them fucking trip balls. But no, I thought it was actually pretty good for what it was. Go watch it. Give it a chance.
Okay.
Give it a chance and know that they didn't do a 1-to-1 copy.
You know, if you guys fuck with Cowboy Bebop, you know, definitely check that out.
And they kept they have, you know, the See You Space Cowboy, and you've probably seen that around. See You Space Cowboy. Have you seen that?
No, but that's a famous quote. So I've heard that quote millions of times. At the
end of the show, it's always just a black screen, and on the bottom left it says "See You, Space Cowboy." But sometimes it says like different things, and they kept that in the show, which was nice.
Oh, okay.
And they kept all the music, which was dope. So they have the original theme. And,
super important.
Yeah, the original theme song's still there, and actually they did a comparison of like the OG opening to the new opening. It's actually like pretty spot on, like how well they did it. And then the ending theme, of course, still the same. But yeah, I enjoyed it. What else you been doing this week, Lawrence? Hell yeah. Good response. I like it.
I'ma say this. JJK, since now I'm caught up, so now every Friday I just read the next episode.
Uh-huh.
JJK, I feel like, has hit that. This is the manga.
Mm-hmm.
They've hit that stride that I do feel like a lot of animes hit, where
is it a training
you're like, you know, okay. You're like, oh, yo, this show's lit. Oh, then they get to the part where you're like, okay, they are human.
Yep.
Okay. They got they got to that. So, but I relate it to Bleach in the form of where I'm like, you just be giving motherfuckers any old power now. Like, yo, I related to that. Like, that's why, and you know exactly that's why you're laughing. You're like, yeah, Bleach definitely does that.
Yep.
Like, yo, some animes where you be like, you had how many years you been sitting on this, and this is what you came up for this person's power. Boruto, we got motherfuckers hacking with laptops and shit, and that's something, you know. Like, we got to that, like JJK got to that, and I was like, okay, you guys are human now. Like, all right, I get it. Everything was bought, and however, cause it sounds like, oh, now, like, it's not as no, it's still fire.
Right.
But whenever I see something where I'm like, a power is just like, okay, I just be like, all right, I'm like, I still fuck with the show, but it has reached a point where you're, well, at least me.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, but that's the manga though. I really only been watching Arcane.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, that's kind of Arcane is really just what I've been watching, and I haven't even like back to back episode every day. It was like I still the day I texted you, I still haven't finished watching it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still on episode 7, where I could have been finished it if I watch episode every night, but it's not even like that. Like, I might watch 2 one day, not watch episode the next day.
Episodes, because they're like 40 plus minutes.
Yeah. But yeah,
dope.
You know, I'm really kind of just waiting for 2022, guys. 2022 is about to be insane for anime. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all,
a lot
2022, everything's coming out.
Like 2 years are all getting sequels.
They're all about They're all about to come out in 2022.
Hell
Even Peaky
yeah.
Blinders is coming back in. Oh
Is it
my
does that come back
God.
in 22?
2022,
Oh,
yes. That's what, like,
Fuck.
2022, everybody was like, yo, 2021, I'm sorry, but COVID fucked you up. Like, in the history books, 2021 is going to go down as like,
2020 and 2021, both of them.
2020 and 2021 was like, yeah, nah, we're not dropping ridiculous stuff. Like,
fire is 2022 going to be because of that?
Exactly.
Like, unfortunately, a terrible crisis happened.
You had to wait 2 years. Right.
But out of it, we're getting some dope shit, so that's cool.
And we're almost there. We got December. November's almost over.
Right.
Then we got December. And then we're about to get smacked with everything. Everything.
Demon Slayer, the final episode of the train arc comes out this coming Sunday, and then it's all brand new shit after that. So that's dope.
Is that gonna be in December? Or are they gonna wait till like January? Is it good that a next year thing too?
Be December. Let me double check. Demon Slayer. I caught up on it last night. So yeah, there's one more episode.
It's different from Mugen Train, but how different are the episodes? Like, is it worth me going to watch them?
There's
just episode 1?
Episode 1 is like 100% all new shit. You learn a lot more about Rengoku. After it's like all Rengoku backstory and like how he got to where he is, and then like how he got under the train and stuff.
Shit! I should probably watch that.
Yeah, definitely watch episode 1 if nothing else, and then everything else after that is so far it's been pretty much the same, but like cleaner than the movie. They like up the animation a little bit. It's like they went back and like made it a little cleaner, which is dope.
Okay.
So they like took the movie. They're like, let's clean this up, make this look a little sparkle a little more. It's like when you take a brand new car, you're driving around for a year, and then they come back and they're like, all right, let's clean this shit, and then put it back out in the streets. That's what they did.
Okay.
It says to be announced December 5th, 2021. That's all it says.
Okay.
So I guess December 5th is when that thing starts.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I cannot wait, and I cannot wait for Made in Abyss Part 2. Me personally,
did they announce when that was coming out?
They didn't announce which month, but 2022.
Got it.
Made in Abyss, and the trailer just dropped.
I should probably go watch it. I need to watch those movies.
The trailer didn't blow me off my feet. It did not blow me off my feet.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed that show. And
it was good.
And you know me, I'm like a fighting guy type show, and I really fuck with that show. I don't know, like I just like mysterious. It's just such an mysterious like we travel to the center of the earth and you don't know what the fuck's there, and there's a guy who's just fucking demonic and just does crazy shit
dude, like speaking of mysteries, yesterday Gintama the final movie came to US theaters yesterday. I couldn't get a ticket. I wasn't even allowed to buy a ticket. Everywhere I went to try and buy, dude, I went to like 12 different fucking websites. I went on apps on my phone. I used different devices.
Why? So it's hard?
No, it didn't even say sold out. Like, you would get there and be like, yeah, we're playing it. I'm like, cool, click on it. And then like the next screens would never load. You couldn't click on the time to like go watch it. All the thing, I was just like, am I not allowed to watch this movie? Like, am I banned from watching? Am I not?
I wonder if that'll change the time. Like, have you tried today?
It was only a 1 day thing. It's like it was only yesterday. I couldn't watch it. I mean, I'll just watch it online when it comes online. That's fine. I just figured like, oh, I love Gintama. I binged all 300 episodes in like 2 months. Hell yeah, I'll watch the 8th final that they're having. But yeah, couldn't get a ticket. Oh well. But
okay.
Yeah. But speaking of mysteries, let's get into today's show. Yona of the Dawn. Bum, bum, bum. Is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Mizuho Kusanagi. It has been serialized in I tried to say that fast and fucked up. Hakusensha's shoujo manga magazine Hana to Yume since August 2009, with its chapters collected in 36 tankobon, or manga volumes, as of August 2021. A 24-episode anime television series adaptation produced by Perot aired between October 7th, 2014 and March 24th, 2015. The first opening theme is an instrumental song by Kunihiko Ryo called Akatsuki no Yona, which I think just means Yona of the Dawn, but I could be wrong. The first ending theme is Yoru by Vistlip. The plot is Princess Yona lives a life of luxury and ease, completely sheltered from the problems of the seemingly peaceful kingdom of Koka. However, the sudden murder of the king and betrayal of her beloved cousin Suwon places Yona's life in mortal peril. Forced to escape only with Sun Hawk, who is both her childhood friend and bodyguard, the naive princess soon discovers that Koka is not the idyllic place she envisioned it to be. Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so I'm just gonna be. I'm just saying this right now.
His favorite show ever.
No, nah.
You heard it here first, everyone.
Look, so what we do, right, is whoever read this is how our script goes, guys. I'm gonna give you guys a little well, not really, but like this is how like the flow is. Whoever reads the info, the other person's supposed to take from their notes. So this first, now I never read the now I realize, as you know, this is like my first time. Well, not my, like this podcast that we have here is like my first time being like doing an official podcast.
Hell yeah!
So I'm learning as I'm yeah, of course. I'm learning as I'm going. I even got this shit in my portfolio. Don't play me,
dog. I saw.
Like no, this is ill. So I'm learning as I'm going. I'm now learning I should be reading this info before I watch the episode. Well, but see, that's the thing.
Sometimes
I don't like to.
Yeah.
No, exactly. For this show, I should have read this before I watched it, because
okay.
If I would have read this, then I wouldn't have had my thoughts the whole time I was watching this first episode, because I thought this first episode was mad boring. And then in the last 60 seconds, you go, okay. I'm
not gonna lie. First episode, I'm gonna be blunt, is pretty boring.
No, but in the last 60 seconds, I go, so
yeah.
If the last 60 seconds didn't happen, Chris was about to do this by himself today. Like, I wasn't about to be here. Like, I would have had nothing to say. Like, I wouldn't have had anything to say. Like, but the last 60 seconds came, and I was like, okay, all right. Because through the whole episode, I'm like, there's no way this show, like, I don't care. Like, there's no way this show, this is like how it is the whole time.
So get
like,
this though.
No way.
I'm wondering. All right, do you know the difference between a shonen and a shoujo?
No.
Shonen is what you like for the most part, which is like action, fighting, crazy bullshit, all that stuff. You think of Dragon Ball, Bleach, I don't know, Naruto, like those are all shonens. Shows geared towards teenage males or just males in general. Shoujos are also.
Did you just look this up right now? Did you just learn this right now?
I wanted like the difference. I already knew what the difference was, but I want to read the like Wikipedia.
Oh, I've never even heard of that. When did you figure out there were such things as a shoujo? I've never.
Since one of the first, when I started rewatching, like finally really getting anime in 2014, other than like the big ones that everyone watched, one of the first shows I watched was a shoujo, and I was like, I feel like I'm watching a show for girls. And then I looked it up and I went, I totally just watched a show for girls. Okay, that was enjoyable though. I really liked it. At like 5 episodes in, I went, this does not seem like it was targeted towards 20-year-old men, or however old I was in 2014. But so let's see.
So yeah, what is that? I've never heard it. See, I've learned mad stuff from doing this podcast. I've learned
Abigail
mad
just texted
stuff.
me. She just went shoujo equals Chris, which is true. So shoujo manga, also romanized as shoujo or shoujo with a U, are Japanese comics aimed at a teen female target demographic readership. The name romanizes the word shoujo, literally meaning young woman. Shoujo mangas cover many subjects in a variety of narrative styles, from historical drama to science fiction, often with a focus on romantic relationships or emotions. Lawrence, what was the number one theme you noticed in this episode?
Bro, it was all about
the romance of yeah. So that shoujos are completely different than shonen, where they're more about like the emotions and the relationships with people, instead of just being like punch, power up, punch, like completely different type of show. Not to say that there isn't, like, this show actually has like remember in the very beginning when she's standing on the cliff and Hawk's like, we need to go, and then you see the one dude with like the lizard arm or whatever the fuck that was, and then you see like the other dude. Yo, those guys go fucking hard. I'm just saying, in the show, like the fight scenes in the show are dope, not gonna fucking lie. It's like, do you ever play not Romance, Dynasty Warriors? You ever play that game? You know how you just take a general and then you kill 8 billion people and you're like, yay, we won the war. That's essentially what these dudes are, where she's like, we're leading a rebellion, and it's just those people and they just murder armies, and you're like, yay. And then she's like, but also I'm in love with you. But the show
learned something new. That's actually go ahead.
So yeah, shoujos are more for like I think I think Sailor Moon's a shoujo, if I'm
wow, that's mistaken. Actually that's
so Sailor Moon's a shoujo, because remember when you were a kid, it was like, oh, the girls that like anime watch Sailor Moon and the boys that like anime watch Dragon Ball. Remember that, like, as a kid?
Oh.
But now I'm 30 years old and I'm like, Sailor Mercury is clearly the best one, so I'll kill you if you try and fight me.
Yo, that's actually I actually really like that, because that just shows like
they got a little something for everything. Oh, Abigail texting again. What's she saying? Mars is better. Fight me. Who is Lauren? Who's your favorite Sailor?
Yeah, I didn't watch Sailor Moon like that.
Just pick one. Pick Mercury. Just say it. Say Mercury. Say it. Just say it.
Is she the green one?
Just fucking say it, dude. Just say Mercury.
Mercury.
Hey, he said Mercury. You heard it here first, guys.
She better not watch this episode.
Dude, she can hear me. She just... I think the green one was Venus, to be honest, but I could be
wrong. Okay, because I was a Powerpuff Girls guy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yo, Buttercup all day.
That was exactly. That's why I said, is it the green one? I'm like, is there? Do I see a pattern throughout all these? Like, green is the kick ass, but no, that's actually pretty dope. Wow, I learned something new. I did not know that, and now that makes a whole lot of sense. Now that's actually kind of cool. That it's like Japanese culture understands that, like,
they have target audiences where they're like,
the different genders, we clearly know what interests like the different like, wow.
Because think about it, when you were a 12-year-old dude, like 12-year-old kid, were you thinking about falling in love and talking about your emotions? No, you were just like, I need to kill something right now. There's an anger inside of me and I need to kill.
Which I literally have no reason to have that anger inside.
And then you're sitting there, you're like, but I'm also 12, so why do I have this? But different nowadays. Now, I feel like this was more of like a 90s, early 2000s type thing, and now it's just like the shoujo, shonen, like, tags are still there, but no one really follows them. Because like I said, I watch girl shows all fucking time. I don't care. Some girl shows are really good. Not gonna lie. Like this one, actually pretty good. Won't lie.
To me, this kind of so in the beginning, so in the beginning, you watch the beginning, just like you said, like they're on the cliff. You watch like the first 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and you're like, oh, okay. And then the show goes into the show, and you're like, the whole episode, you're watching the show like, this doesn't look anything like, so you know something's gonna happen, because the whole first episode you're watching looks nothing like what they clearly show you what,
like, right at the very beginning
happening now. So you know some shit's gonna go down.
Mhm.
So this kind of reminds me of like some Vinland Saga type shit where the first episode's really not that crazy.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
It's
to,
a
but
setup.
you know something's gonna happen, but it's not gonna happen in the first episode. It's not gonna get to where you think it's gonna be in the first episode. So that's what I took away from this. Like this, you know, because they literally show you, oh, her hair is different. That's how you know,
Right.
like, oh, she's a new person. Oh, we're not even dealing with the same person right now.
Right.
But you know, they show that at the very beginning, and then they go back and show you clearly why that happened. So that gives me like a Vinland Saga type vibe, where it's like you're just gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to invest in this show and watch more than one episode, you know, if it interests you like that. But they do give you a little bit of taste, a tad of a taste in the beginning to show you that like this is what like it's really gonna look like, but we're just showing you, you know, what's going on. But yeah, so that's kind of what I took away from this.
I was gonna say it kind of mirrored.
I wasn't expecting that to happen either.
It was. This is such a weird comparison to make, but I had to look up this episode 1 to see if I was just imagining shit, but it's not. It kind of mirrored Game of Thrones episode 1, where
what happened in Game of Thrones episode 1?
The very first thing you see is the Night Watch being attacked by White Walkers. So you're like, oh, fuck.
Ooh,
you're like, oh, fuck.
And they don't show you them shits for dumb long.
Until 7 seasons later.
Right.
The rest of the season, I don't even think you see them the rest of the season. But maybe you see them at the very end. But like, you see that and you're like, oh shit, this show is about to be lit. And then fucking nothing happens episode 1. But a lot of exposition and explanation happens. And at the very end of episode 1, you see like the woman, Daenerys, she gets like the 3 dragon eggs, and you're like, oh shit. And then episode 1 ends. That's what this episode was. Where like episode 1,
that's
like,
a good example, bro.
They're about to body this army. A lot of nothing. Oh shit! Look at this betrayal. Oh, and then Bran got pushed out of a tower for watching brother sister sex. But other than that, nothing happened in Game of Thrones episode.
That was such a good show, and then it just.
And then episode 10 or the final season, they went, "Hey, remember how the book is about this theme? Nah, not no more. The show doing the opposite. The thing you don't want."
Yo, that show was so fucking good, and then all of a sudden,
and then the last season happened.
It was people got mad before the last season. But have you ever seen the meme where it was like seasons 1 through 4, and it's a drawing of a horse that's really good, and then the front of the horse is like, yo, this like. Fucking who drew this? Like Picasso was on, and then the end of the horse is like drawn terribly, like a 5-year or like a 2-year-old drew it. It's like seasons 1 through 4 of Game of Thrones, the front of the horse. Seasons 5 through 7, people were mad at season.
Well, that's because they like the people making
those are the people
show,
who knew exactly what the like people who read must have read.
There are some
everything.
like really big broad themes in the book that are like very easy to understand and like are present through the whole series. And the people making the show were like, nah, I'm not gonna, fuck it. And it's like,
you could tell like the first 4 seasons were. Fucking
they were doing
amazing.
Really good.
It was amazing. Like, no, it was perfect.
Essentially,
Game of Thrones
the final season should have been flipped, where the humans do all their stupid bullshit and then the White Walkers. Because I forget the exact wording for it, but it's supposed to be like how it's supposed to show you that like your inbred bullshit fighting doesn't fucking mean anything when there's a bigger thing going on. Even if you don't believe in it, it's still going to happen. It's still going to come, COVID-19. And it's still going to hit and stop your bullshit fighting with one another and band together, COVID-19, and just beat that thing. But instead, they all just keep infighting and lose COVID-19 to that thing. And it's like... And the showrunners were like, no, the throne, guys. It's called Game of Thrones. We're ending the show about that. And people are like, that's not the point of the thing. That's not the point. You're missing the point.
I didn't even look at it that way. No, that is 100% that, because that's
like,
exactly what happens.
Every book, it's all about all your.
It's like, yo, why y'all
bullshit.
beefing? Like, y'all all about to get wiped. Like, what are you doing?
And it's about how, like, it doesn't matter how much the good people are like, we got, and everyone, it's always come down to one asshole that doesn't want to play nice, you know?
Yes.
America. So you know, I got some thoughts.
So YouTube's gonna flag this episode. Chill, bro.
It's fine. This is 30 minutes in. They won't get that far. They'll watch the first 15 and say this episode's fine.
But yeah, so now that was a really good example to relate the first episode of Game of Thrones to the first episode of this.
Yeah,
you were right.
Where it's like a fire intro, a whole lot of nothing, and then that little nugget at the end that makes you go, "Fuck, I got to see what happens next."
Yep.
Because that's what happens in this one. You have that thing, and then it's essentially just like nuggets of, okay, she's a spoiled little 15-year-old brat, hates her red hair, blah blah blah. Her dad's husband, like her mom died when she was young. Her dad's a pacifist, doesn't want to fight, just wants peace, blah blah blah.
You could tell the king was not even important. Like he
was like, no.
He's just here right now. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, this is not even nothing.
And then the love interest shows up, and he's all charming and beautiful. She's all, oh, I'm in love with you. And then the best friend sitting there, and I actually like when her and Hawk are fighting with each other, and they have those funny, like, she says something, and then he talks shit, like he like mumbles some like bullshit under his breath, and she's all like, shut the fuck up.
Cause he knows her like the best.
Right.
Like, he's been her bodyguard, so it's like, why are you lying? Like,
yeah. He's like, elegant, yeah, okay, whatever, lady. Yeah, and then so that whole thing, but then the ending, that's when it gets spicy.
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't.
When she goes to tell her dad, like, I'm marrying Soo-won, you can't stop me, because it's her 16th birthday. And she opens the palace gates to the throne room, and dun dun dun, Soo-won has killed El King.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
I've seen enough. I don't want to say a lot of fairy tale Netflix. It's a very niche thing I watch. Fairy tale inspired Netflix Korean TV shows start like that. so I was used to it, where it's like, oh, girl loves boy A even though boy B's been there the whole time. Boy A turns out to be evil. Boy B and girl have to now fight. Like it's a big thing in fairy tales, like on the Netflix movies and stuff, shit like that. So I knew that was coming. But yeah, Soo-won betrays, kills the king, is holding a coup. He wants to be king. He doesn't want to be a pacifist nation no more. And
okay,
dog, she's about to get murdered too. Like, they got her on a chain, throw her into like a puddle of water. They're like, it's for their safety, and they're gonna cut her head off. And then Hawk rolls in, fucking just murders everyone too.
Yeah, and that's all right. The fight scenes might not be that bad,
and they don't shy away. You see the blood. He's just straight murdering everyone. He calls the dude out at the end of the episode, and then the episode ends. But yeah, pretty dope ending to a pretty boring show so far. So you loved it though, right? You gave it an S ranking. Like, this is S plus for you.
A negative S ranking.
S minus, got it. Still good. Still good.
Nah, I would give this. I would below average, so I'll probably give it a C minus D plus.
Okay.
But the same thing, I probably would have done the Vinland Saga would have been the same thing for, even though I feel like Vinland Saga's the animation is better.
Is so fucking good, but that episode 1,
it's the first episode, but because the animation's better and I feel like the story was better, I wouldn't have gave it a below average, but it has the same like theme,
right,
of Vinland Saga. So, but out for this show, I'm giving it a C minus D plus. Like, it was below average, even though the end, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is they were just setting us up for this, but the setup was just really boring. Like
Right.
you can
Okay.
still set it up. You can still do a setup and it not be boring. You just have to make like the story. You just have to keep the story. Got to be
Right.
like interesting. This was just like but it makes sense. You know, it's a Shinjo.
Right.
I
Shojo.
take that back.
There we go.
I take that back because I don't want to make it sound like because I'm sure Shojo's. Yo, is Violet Evergarden a Shojo?
I actually
No?
did. I actually looked it up while I was doing that. The thing with Violet
It might not
Evergarden,
be.
I
It
don't
might
think
not
it.
be.
I don't think it is, mostly because it's a anime original, so there's no like light novel, there's no mangas or anything, so it's just a show.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, if it was, that would be a great example of a
I
Shojo
think-
where I was
I
like,
think that would
I was
be-
like, that was
I think that would be a
was-
shoujo if it was.
So there you go. Like it's not just because it's Shonen, so its first episode was like nah. Like there are shoujos where like, and the other one I thought was decent. The one that you showed me with the fairies where the dude buys her.
Yeah.
It's like-
I was gonna say maybe this. No, I
The
know
Magi-
the dude. and
the
he's got-
Magi.
Yeah.
The
Fuck,
Magi
why
show.
can't I think it?
I know, right? Hold on.
As
The
well,
episode-
the ancient Magnus's bride. There we go.
Yeah. Like that one. That one was decent, and that one. That's not a shoujo.
Let's
I don't
find
think that one was.
out.
I don't think it was.
Ancient- I
Because
don't think it is.
it wasn't about like love and emotions, but I could see that one being it.
No, it is not.
The ancient Magnus vibe. Yeah,
Right.
but yeah. So I would give it like a
minus.
C minus D plus.
Okay. Here's the thing with me in this show. The reason, all right, if I had just watched the show without searching, like if it just randomly popped up and I started watching it, I would give it the same score. I'd be like, yeah, kind of boring. I don't know if I'll keep watching it. The reason why I was watching this show way back, I don't even remember when the fuck I was watching it, was because I watched this show, The Heroic Legend of Arslan, which is it was published between 86 and 2017, and it's based on a Parisian epic. So it's set in ancient Persia, and it's about like essentially like imagine Dynasty Warriors, but like more about different kingdoms. Yeah, dude, who doesn't fucking love
Dynasty Warriors is
so
insane.
good, so good. Imagine that, but in Persia, pretty much, and you have like the different warring factions and everything. And so I remember watching Heroic Legend of Arslan, being like, this show's fucking fire, and it's about a guy instead of a girl. And then on the like similar shows list was Yona of the Dawn. So I ended up watching the whole thing, being like, well, I love that, I'm gonna love this. And it's literally the same thing, just a girl instead of a guy. But otherwise, like if you pulled like episode 14 from both series and showed them to people, they'd be like, there's no difference. One of them has red hair instead of, I think he has blonde or something. But yeah, I think if you're into like ancient history and rivalries between kingdoms, and like you also want like a little bit of romance and stuff like that, I would say give this a watch. But if you're not really into the whole like shoujo genre, if you're more of like a shonen guy or just like horror or like any other thing, if you're not really into like shoujo, you probably won't like it. But if you're a history person or you just enjoy shoujo, I think you like it. So yeah.
Okay.
I think for me personally, I'd give this like a C plus probably.
Okay.
Yeah, animation wasn't too bad. Oh, Abigail's asking for a specific show, but she doesn't get to pick. You know what does get to pick? The Wheel. But before we switch over to it, I'll do her a solid, and I'll add it to it. Let's see. I don't want to spoil it. There we go. Now the wheel decides if we get to watch it or not. That'll see. For everyone who doesn't know, Abigail is my imaginary friend. She doesn't exist. Don't worry about it. No, she's Lawrence is dying. She's my fiance, so that's why I bring her up every now and then.
Where's Mickey?
He's with her downstairs. They're hanging out. Having a good old time.
Yo, nah, I'm jealous right now. I see that big ass fucking box of goldfish and I'm hungry. God damn, that shit
I
just
got
made me
that,
hungry as
and I got
shit.
a big saltine thing.
Yo,
I got
them
mad
boxes
treats.
of goldfish, nah,
Dog.
man, them things is not safe around me for more than 24 hours,
I had to yell at her
bro.
yesterday. She ate like half the damn box. I was like, chill.
Yo, especially that's the thing when it's like a milk carton, bro. Nah, you be
She was
down in
pouring
them
it into a
joints.
cup, and she ate the cup.
Yo.
And then I heard it like 4 times. I was like, chill. We need to make that last. We just bought it.
Yo, I love those.
Right,
they make whole wheat ones too. I might pick with those.
They do. I don't think I've had those ones, but
I haven't got those in a while, man. I haven't got goldfish in a while, as a matter of fact.
We love them here. But let's check out that wheel. She just called me a bitch. I see how it is. I'm gonna go with. Oh, and before we pick, just to let you guys know, before I forget, next week's episode will be the last episode of the season 4 before we go on a little break. Take a 2-week break before we come back. But we'll remind you next week. What do you want, Lawrence? I'll let you pick this time. I picked first last week.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I want to pick one that I haven't picked before. I've picked Claymore before, although I do want to check that out.
So good.
God Eater, I think I picked that one before.
That one's decent.
I picked Fairy Tale.
Also, I'm going to tell you this now, so you're not surprised later. There's 2 shows on here that are both only... The episodes are between 5 and 10 minutes long. They're super short. So if the wheel ever lands on one or the other, we're doing both. Because they're both also shows that you're going to be very upset that I made you watch. You will be very, very mad at me. For one of 2 reasons. You'll go, Chris, you are sick and you need help. Or you're going to go, Chris, I have discovered a new fetish. Those are going to be the two things you come back to me with. I'm not going to tell you what shows they are, but they're on here. Just so you know.
So for the show, I'm going to pick...
I've been praying every fucking...
Tracy.
Ooh, that's that... I don't know if you remember me talking about
what the fuck that is.
That Filipino supernatural one I was watching a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
It's actually pretty good.
And for the color, man, I kept doing yellow for Thanksgiving, and so fuck. And
we
yellow.
haven't even had Thanksgiving yet. It's in 2 days.
I know, right?
It's when this episode airs.
What is RWBY?
Ruby. That's the Rooster Teeth one.
All right, I'm gonna pick green. So Tracy and green.
All right, I'm gonna go, and you're winning 7-5 as we found out. Tracy green. I'll go with. I'm gonna double down this week. I'm gonna do Monster Musume and red. There we go. I'm gonna get pervy with it. Let us spin that wheel. Dun, 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 dun. I doubled down. Let's see. Fuck. Lords. Remember how I just told you?
Is that it, bro?
Remember how I told you? Oh,
yo, are you kidding me?
Yes. Yes.
Google?
Yes! No. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Be surprised.
Don't Google it?
Be surprised. Be surprised.
He said, no. He said, no.
I cannot believe. I cannot fucking believe.
You rigged this. You rigged it, bro. You rigged it, bro.
Dog, we all saw it here. I cannot fucking believe that we got. All right, so I need to take both of them out. Copy. Remove. So there's.
So what's the other one? What's the name of the other one?
All right, hold on. I don't want the audience. Go back to us chilling. So we got. Options. Stop streaming. There we go. Yay! Behind the scenes, everyone. There's Miru Tights and. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm writing this down right.
This is gonna be great.
Miru Tights and Peter Grill in the Philosopher's Time. So there you go.
Okay, those names are gonna be in here when it's time for me to watch them. So
I'm gonna put them in right now. Both episodes are super short and super horny. So there you go. What a good way to end season 4, being horny. There you go.
So a funny story, right? So I was in my
what can this mean?
I was in my therapy session the other day, right? I have a therapist, guys.
Hey, there you go. So does Abby.
Every week, right? So I was telling her, so I showed her my portfolio. And she was like, she was fascinated at my portfolio. Like she was just like looking at everything. So she got down to the podcast and she read it and she was like, oh, this is cool. Da-da-da. And I was like, do you watch anime? She was like, she was like, yeah, like I've seen some stuff. And I was like, and then she clicked on the link, bro. And she went to the YouTube page and she started like reading all the stuff, right?
Well, she's gonna get to this one and then just go, I've discovered your problems, Lawrence.
So she was dang, how did we get to that? But she was like, oh, because we started the YouTube on like season 2. You remember? The first season is not on YouTube.
Yeah. Season 1's not, but season 2 was. Yeah.
So she went all the way down to the bottom and was like she said something like, "Oh, you started episode 14." I was like, but I forgot that we did YouTube starting at like season 2. So I was like, wait, why don't we have the reason? Then I was like, oh yeah, it's on Spotify. So then she clicked on the Spotify link, went to the Spotify link, and you know how
that's who's been listening to our stuff. I can see who listens to our shit. Hey. Oh, I don't see you specifically, but I can see bumps of when people, what time of day and who's listening to it. So I have like a metric.
Oh, that's cool. So you started changing the naming templates. Do you remember that? Because now you do E8 : da 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 da.
Oh, yeah,
but if you go back to season 1, that's not how we would name them. You would do like S1 this. S1 thing 2, S1, but now we don't do that because we just have Google Drive, so we don't have to do that. It's all folders now. So the last episode that you changed to where you do all of them the same, bro, do you know what it was?
What was it?
The last episode that you stopped naming how you do them all now was episode 17 in season 1. Chris, what episode was that?
I enlighten me, Lawrence. I don't know off the top of my head. What?
It's the King of Hentai. So she was like, Lawrence, what's hentai? I started dying. I'm like, why did she pick that? I was like, in my head, I'm like, does she know? I'm like, is that why she picked that one? I'm like, nah, Antoinette has not. I'm like, and then I just started laughing and I just didn't answer her question.
You know what?
But she was, and then she was like,
we're doing next episode. I'm gonna have questions for you, dog. It's the perfect episode to bring back King of Hentai.
Yo, she was like, not Lawrence, for real. Tell me what it is. I was like, in my head, I'm dying. I tried to not answer her because I was just pretend like I'm laughing. But in my head, I'm like, she can see me going, oh my God. Like, she saw me, right?
Kept trying to get, she's like, oh, I gotta get
and I'm like, yo, out of all the episodes, why did she pick that one? She was like, that's the last one that's named like this. And then they all change. So then I was like, okay, so just a disclaimer, this is a funny podcast where we do like funny stuff. I'm like, well, look, we have funny stuff and we have guests and we just do stuff that's like, more than because of podcasts, we need content, da-da-da-da. And so then I'm just like,
let's bring a guest for next week. Do you want to see if Kumar wants to come on?
I want to get someone new. We've had Kumar twice. That's my guy.
Who do we have?
I'll find someone. I'll find someone.
I'll see if my boy Chris wants to come on.
We get whatever.
Well, each get a friend. They'll get a friend. It'll be a great pyramid scheme. We'll have a whole thing. This will be the perfect. Just imagine. I'd be like, all right, here's what I need you to do. I need you to be a guest on my podcast. Okay, cool. What's the episode? What do you got? I'm gonna be like, I can't. I need you to just
show up. I just need you to show up.
watch, but like put headphones on and make sure your mom's not home, or if she is, like wear the headphones and like turn the lights off. If you could do that, that'd be cool. And then also just don't judge me afterwards at all. I was at work today and I was like, oh, this dude named James Capone I work with. I was like, yo, Capone, I got a great way for you to get into anime without actually watching anime. And I was going to recommend the Cowboy Bebop show. And he was like, no, Chris, I'm not going to watch any of that weird Japanese porn that you got. And I was like, Capone, that's called hentai. And that's for me. I ain't showing you that. That's my collection. And you don't need to know how fucked up I am. All right. And everyone in my corner of the office just started laughing. But oh god, I'm gonna have fun next week. I'm gonna do a whole King of Hentai. I got the day off tomorrow, so I'm gonna write up like 50 questions. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Are you getting one person? Are you getting one person? And how many people are we have? Are you providing the next guest?
If you got someone, grab
I don't have it. I would have to. I can get someone, but do you
know anyone off top of rip that you're like, oh, they'd be perfect for like pervy TV shows? That I
said I was gonna have someone, but I just can't fucking remember who I said. But I got
a couple people I can ask that just be like down to fucking watch this and be like, what the fuck? I got a bunch of people I can ask. But if you got someone that you'd like to have on, let me know.
Because my boys watch anime, but there's someone specifically who I forgot that I said. I was like, yo, I do an anime podcast, and I'm trying to think who it was. But either way, bro, it doesn't matter. I can always find people like this because I know a lot of people.
I just put Abigail on the show if I want. Who knows? God, I can't. Not next week. She's banned from the house.
Who the fuck did I say?
Who knows? But here it is, guys. Next week, final episode. We are watching Miro Tights and Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time. We're gonna have King of Hentai quiz. At least one guest. We're going all out. End season 4 on a bang. It's gonna be crazy. Lawrence is gonna have an awakening. He's gonna go, didn't know I was into this, but now I'm hella into this. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Might do my notes tonight. Fuck
Or it's gonna turn the lights off and put on a candle.
Yo,
oh, shit. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
We'll see y'all next week for the season finale. This was gonna be funny.
Oh hell yeah!
Happy holidays, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.